Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group at Coldwell Banker Burnett.
Hey, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio. I'm Keith Hittner Sr. here in the studio with Keith Hittner Jr., and you can reach us at 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000, or go to realestatechalktalk.com. There you got all those great tools that you can use. And last time we went out to break, we were just in the middle, Keith Areno, you were in the middle of answering or making a comment.
Do you remember what it was?
I have no idea.
We were talking about jobs, and you were mentioning job replacement of the Ford manufacturing facility in
Right.
St. Paul, and they're probably serving coffee now. So it's the type of job replacement. What I was going into is just case in point, right here in Egan, where we broadcast from. We had the Lockheed Martin facility, and you take all of that acreage in Egan on a very busy intersection in Yankee Doodle and Pilot Knob in Egan, and you tear out those high-paying jobs with engineers and in-house attorneys and very high-paying jobs there on that site. Very smart people, and what are they putting there? They're putting 100% retail. They're putting in grocery stores. They're putting in restaurants. They're putting in little shops. So what they're doing is they're removing all of these high-paying jobs in this very nice community and replacing those with lower-end paying retail jobs. So just to dovetail on what you're saying with the Ford facility is we have less of those types of jobs in our areas, and they're being filled by people that are serving coffee or working at the grocery store, which is not the end of the world.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Donald Trump wants to bring manufacturing back to America. He wants to make America great again. You know what I'm saying? Bring the manufacturing back from China. China's kicking our butt all over.
I heard he got endorsed by Putin, so that's...
Yeah, well, hey, why not?
Putin's rocking a little mustache.
Is he rocking a little something?
Must be Movember over in Russia. I like Rubio. There was a debate just this past week.
I did watch
We
that
didn't
debate.
talk any about that the first segment like we normally do, but I didn't watch a lick of it. So
I watched.
You'd have to weigh in.
Well, we went to my granddaughter's Christmas party, and I gotta say, I just as just an aside that
was I there?
Yes, you were.
Okay. Were we at a Christmas party?
Not the Christmas party, their concert.
Oh, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, I was there.
Yes. Anyhow, so we go to the Christmas, and it was wonderful. It was a traditional Christmas thing. Elsiana was Mary, over the, kneeling over.
My daughter was Mary in her Catholic school.
Yeah. It was
whatever they
it
call
was great. So last night, or earlier in this week, then after that, we went to my grandson's music event at his school, which is a public school. We got out of there, and I told Sheila, I said, was this a 4th of July songfest or something? There was not one Christmas carol. And everyone was dressed up in like barbershop quartet outfits and carrying flags and that kind of stuff. It's like
a celebration of America.
Yeah, which was better suited for maybe the last concert of the year, not Christmas. I mean, it was like they made an effort not to have Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was sad. I was kind of angry, actually.
And there, my friends, is why I choose to take my children to Catholic school.
That's right. Anyhow, enough said about that. How do we get onto that one?
I don't know.
We're talking about Donald Trump and how he's going to make America great again.
Oh, okay.
And Rubio. Okay, so getting back, just quick, if you want to do it. We've got a couple minutes to kill here. I just want to talk about the debate itself. I thought was actually pretty darn good, and it was CNN debate. I thought they did a really good job, to be honest with you. They asked good questions, and not snarky at all. They did like they always do, always tee it always up with a Donald Trumpism. Donald Trump says this, and he's an idiot, so what do you say about it? That was always the setup on every question. But the three guys that I liked the best came out of there with their hats on straight. And that would be, Rubio, Cruz, and Trump. All three of them. They did a really good job. And Rubio and Cruz are going to be, duking it out over the course of the next few months to see.
Yeah, try to get that number 2 spot.
Try to get that number 2 spot, and they're really close, and it's the nuances between the two of them that they try to make into a big deal, but it's really not.
They're not that far
Not
apart.
that far apart. Right. So
Trump is unbelievably fortunate right now, though. I mean, think about this: you've got your ultra righty in Cruz, who things he says would run him out of most
Right.
campaigns, but I think him and Trump are feeding off each other almost.
Wow, but they were
They're offsetting.
they were
one another.
doing the analysis of Trump actually has policy statements on his website that if anyone cares to go and actually read them, and forget about the things that he says on the campaign trail, but go and read his policy statements. He is more moderate than people imagine. I mean, he's very moderate. So
It's hard to be much more moderate than he is when you've got Cruz on the other side.
that may be true. But nevertheless, people look at him like he's this right. He's getting the Tea Party guys. He's getting this and that and the other thing. He's drawing from the hard right, and that's what they're. But his base is really more moderate than that. He's got a lot of people, a lot of independents, a lot of conservative Democrats, the Southern Democrats. Their old Reagan coalition really is forming around him. If they look in the background, it's driving the Republican elite crazy. Because they can't deal with this guy.
No, we got a long ways away, but it'll be here before we know it.
It'll be interesting to see, if he blows himself up.
Mm-hmm.
If he hasn't by now,
Yeah, I don't think he will either. He just keeps getting
he gets away
stronger.
with everything right
Yeah,
now.
and adds 2 points that week.
It's amazing.
We got Iowa in a month, so
Mhm.
that's
So-
it for politics.
All right, enough of that. Exactly. Okay, let's talk with Emily. Emily, what the heck do you do all day long? Get right up, snuggle up to that microphone.
Okay.
Don't lean back 6 feet away. Emily, by the way, we're probably going to be humiliated now because Emily used to be a radio show professional. Did you know?
Oh,
that?
used to be in college, yes.
Yeah.
A college
Get
radio
close to
show
your mic. They
professional.
can't hear you. Turn the mic up so that we can hear. All right.
Yes, a
You
college
got
radio
your
show
headset on?
professional.
Where's your headset? How do you know
Right
what's
here.
going on? Put your headset on so we can
Here.
talk to you here. Okay, so you used to be a radio show professional in college, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing for the Hittner Group and what your role is.
My role with the Hittner Group, I'm the Transaction Coordinator and the Marketing Assistant. So basically every file that any one of our agents have, I take care of from the beginning to the end. And then also for up to 10 years with the clients afterwards, sending out anniversary cards, birthday cards, everything from the beginning to past.
I'd like to just explain why that is important. Our philosophy of real estate is not transaction oriented. We take a lifetime view of the client. We see people as people and homes as homes. We tend to look at the rather than the dollar volume of the transactions that we move through, we tend to look at how many families we've served that year and how many transactions from that more of that standpoint. And so the relationship with the client is very important to us, and Emily helps us maintain that, and that's why we built the systems in place that we built. And we do hundreds of deals each and every year, and every one of those files will go across your desk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so, tell us a little bit about what's in the back end of that in terms of who are all the players involved that you need to keep in the loop, so to speak.
So right when I get a file, usually on a closing worksheet, say if you're doing a sale, there's going to be title, lender, we got to work with the mortgage team, we've got to work with the agents, we've got to work with everyone to make sure that every aspect of that sale is going to go through perfectly. So title needs to know we need to get a closing date, we need to get everything done fashionably, on time. There's a closing date that the buyer and the seller would prefer to do. And we want to make sure that we can get that date closest to that date so that we can close on that time. And
So that means keeping these guys on track.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Being
Well,
in
you're the guy that
contact
holds up the
with,
show.
yep.
And we've
Correct.
had some changes in the late part of this year with our TRID rules and such, and that's changed a little bit on the timing of things, hasn't it?
Yeah.
How has that made a difference for your work?
It's gotten a lot of people confused.
Okay.
But however, keeping the agents up to date, making sure that right when TRID came out that they all had those forms, and it just basically understanding the new settlement statements that come with instead of a HUD. Understanding those and how everything works, how it needs to be turned in, the extra steps that we need to take to get the closing information sheet in and the TRID to get that closing date where we want it to be.
Do you find that things have to be done sooner, or
Sooner, yes.
what about changes easy to deal with change? I mean, normally we're making changes right at the closing table, can't do that anymore.
No, and that's why that's why the communication is so important between the agent and myself, so that if they communicate with me as soon as possible, I can get those changes into title and lenders and Kelvin and Dean, and so that we can get those changes made as soon as possible.
We're getting down to the last about 40 seconds of the thing. So Emily, what is your direct line number? If we've got clients listening right now that need to reach out to you, do you know what your number is?
952-957.
952-997.
957.
952-997-9458.
9458.
There you
go.
This is real estate. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll be back with another segment here. We're going to have Eric Everson coming up, and Emily will hang out for our next segment too. We'll talk a little bit about the market coming up, both real estate and mortgage. Give us a call, 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000. We'll be right back.